messages of prophets, the songs of poets, and the wisdom of interpreters. In discoveries of continents of truth whose margins we may see, we delight in free minds and in their thinking. In the majesty of the moral order, in the faith that right will triumph, in the courage given us when we ally ourselves to truth in any form, in the privilege of being co-workers in good causes, we celebrate the unseen goals we share and serve. Let us build a world safe from war and oppression, free and satisfying, one that ultimately furnishes answers for us all. And please be seated.
Hello, welcome. Are we ready for some celebration or what? I mean, that's the creative school that I know. So, welcome, graduates, friends, family. Good morning. I am Charles Falzon. I'm Dean of the Creative School at Toronto Metropolitan University. And it is my privilege to be your MC for today's celebrations. I'm really looking forward to it. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the land that we're celebrating on today. Toronto is, as you know, as most of you know, on the Dish with One Spoon territory. And the Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississauga, and the Haudenosaunees. And that treaty bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Since then, subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. So, graduates, this is a very special day for you. Parents, friends, colleagues, you know, your presence means so much, and it really is a big deal, you know, because together we're here meeting to celebrate an important benchmark in your lives. And isn't it great that we're able to do this in person? Your timing was right on as far as this is concerned, so it's great. And we're celebrating the achievement of a credential that you're getting from a highly respected program at TMU's Creative School. But also we're celebrating the potential of each of you. You know, 4 years ago or so when you started on this journey, the world was a very different place. 4 years ago, the name of our own faculty was different, and so was that of the university. It really has been a time of awakening and opening. So much newness during your journey. Think of it. The impact of virtual worlds and social media, it's astounding. A new definition of what broadcasting and media consumption is. Films are not about cinemas alone anymore. Media is not about TV. Photography is not about being two-dimensional, and so on. Fashion is a way of being and much more than clothes. Print is not just about paper. Entrepreneurship is not just about innovation in commerce, but also in society. Design is a way of thinking. 4 years ago, you didn't think that 2 years of your stay would be hybrid. Zoom was something you knew about, but it was a side tool at best, not core. And yet you flourished. Together we experienced exciting wake-up calls as individuals and as a world. Beyond the COVID shock that showed the vulnerability of our health, we lived through an awakening in society, together, and an awakening in ourselves, with the spotlighting of injustices relating to colonialism, gender, and power, as well as environmental irresponsibility. The world has been transformed. Your fields have been transformed. You have been transformed. And this journey has made you so strong and so uniquely ready to build the future. Today, you move from being the transformed to becoming the transformer. You are the builder, you are the healer, you are the visionary, you are the change maker, you are creative. You are part of an elite group that has been shaped by change and challenge, and you are ready to lead us to the next paradigm of society. It truly has been my honor and pleasure, together with all your faculty and staff, to accompany you on this path. You are strong, you are bold, you are ready. The future is truly creative. The future is yours to create. Okay, let's begin now with the program at large, and it is my real pleasure to start off by introducing you to the Chancellor of Toronto Metropolitan University, Janice Fukakusa.
Graduands, I am proud and honored to be here. Today is a time of well-deserved celebration, and we share our pride in your success with everyone whose love and support has played a part in bringing you here today. Now, normally at this stage of my remarks, I typically share a few pieces of advice with the graduating class. After 2 years of pandemic, however, I think you, the graduands, should be the ones giving us advice. Graduands, you went through a remarkable experience, as your dean just talked about. You endured and came through it and achieved your ultimate objective. You succeeded by facing and overcoming unforeseen barriers. I hope you share your experience with others. And in fact, be proud of the impact of everything you do in the months and years ahead. But don't forget to take the time to reflect on your achievements. It builds the confidence essential to overcome the inevitable challenges in the years ahead. And when you look back at your university experience, I encourage you to remember what you learned about yourself. That resilience gives you the means to learn from your experiences, and determination will keep you focused on your dreams. After all of you have already proven that you have the talent to succeed. On this special day of celebration, let me close by offering my congratulations and best wishes on your next journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Fukakusa. Now, please welcome the President and Vice Chancellor of our university, the one and only Mohamed Lashami.
Thank you, Dean. Welcome to our graduates, family and friends, colleagues from across the university and beyond. Class of 2022. This is an important day for you, and you have our warmest congratulations. You graduate at a milestone moment in history. Despite the challenges brought on by the pandemic, you remained committed to your studies, kept connected to your classes, and served your community in more ways than I can expect. A milestone also because your graduating year will be forever linked to our historical name change. What has not changed from the moment you choose to study here to the moment you cross the stage to accept your award are the values that define our university. And when you return as alumni, you will feel right at home. Class of 2022, the first graduating class of Toronto Metropolitan University, you helped shape this place. Now, both you and the university look ahead to a new chapter and bright future. Future of promise and optimism, better prepared than ever to meet the challenges and opportunities ahead. This is your time. You have what the world is looking for: talent, energy, and new ideas. Your years here have prepared you for this moment. We are so very glad that you choose this university, that you immerse yourself in our university community. I hope you are feeling grateful for each other, for the good friends who shared your university experience and are now friends for life, which brings us full circle. While we may find success as individuals, as a society, we need each other. We need loved ones, and we have many of them today with you. We need colleagues and community. In French, you know, we never say goodbye. Instead, we say au revoir, which literally means until we see you again. Enjoy your very special day and stay close to your alma mater, for together we will shape the future. Thank you very much, and I will invite you now to please enjoy a short video.
Today marks a momentous moment in the story of your life. Just a few years ago, you began a new chapter. For some, that meant moving to a new city. For many, that meant discovering new perspectives. And for all, that meant opening your mind to new possibilities. Along the way, you were met with challenges unfamiliar to those who came before you and to those who follow. You embraced the responsibility of learning and unlearning, inspired by the people and places that played a part. Together, we evolved. While this chapter comes to a close, your story continues. Tomorrow, you'll remember this moment, not for who you were, but for who you have become. Today, we'll celebrate the diversity of your experience, your commitment to shaping a better future, and your part in our story. As the first graduating class of Toronto Metropolitan University.
It's now my privilege to deliver the citation for Professor Hossein Rahnama, who we have invited to give today's convocation address. Professor Rahnama has been a professor of data science in the RTA School of Media here at TMU's Creative School for more than 10 years. He is a visiting professor at the MIT Media Lab and is founder and CEO of the global data intelligence company Flybits Incorporated, as well as one of the founding directors of our digital media zone. Over the years, Professor Rahnama has been an impactful leader within the academy, and he has been recognized as an accomplished entrepreneur worldwide. He was appointed by the Governor General to serve on the National Science and Research Engineering Council of Canada and is a board member of Canadian Science Publishing and the Home Capital Group. He has been recognized on several noteworthy lists, including Canada's Top 40 Under 40, the MIT Technology Review TR35, which names the top 35 innovators under 35, and Technology Innovators Top 50 Artificial Intelligence CEOs. Professor Rahnama's background and innovative work at the Creative School has made him one of the strongest educators at the crossroads of scholarship, professional skills, and creative innovation. He is an inspiration to his students, colleagues, and the profession at large. It is my pleasure to call to the lectern Professor Rahnama.
Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lachemy, Provost Simpson, deans, esteemed colleagues, and representatives here on stage. Members of the graduating class, your families, friends, and honored guests, it is my pleasure to be with you today. And it is truly an honor for me to speak to you at your convocation. This year marks the 23rd anniversary of my association with this university. In those 23 years, I have traveled the world, started research centers, spun off companies, published research, founded new teaching and learning programs, and I have done it all without ever leaving this great university. Perhaps the one thing I have not done is give a convocation speech, but there is a first time for everything. I arrived here at what was then known as Ryerson University when I was 19 years old. Like some of you, I was new to Canada at the time. But this is not a story about where I came from or where any of us came from. This is a story about where we all ended up, here on this campus at this university. This is a story about what this university has given us. As a Ryerson student, what I found here on this campus was a university that believed in students. I found an institution that truly empowered its students to learn, to make decisions, and to find their own way. To put it another way, it was a university without ego. As an institution, its personality was humble, but also deeply and quietly self-assured. This university believed in itself and its mission, and wasn't afraid to compete. That resonated with me, and it shaped my own personality as an adult. This university did not reward big talkers. It rewarded the doers, the students who were willing to take up a challenge and work together to succeed. That was all 23 years ago, but today, as a faculty member, I can say with confidence, Toronto Metropolitan University's personality has not changed. The only thing that has changed is that everyone around the globe respects us. Respect, teamwork, perseverance. These are the values that this university instills in us. And these values are what we take from here and carry with us in life. When I was only 29 years old, I met with our former president, Sheldon Levy, and he said, let's build a next generation innovation center. As the co-founder of the Digital Media Zone, these were the values that guided our work in empowering our great students. And with confidence, I can tell you that no student ever let us down. And as you all prepare to convocate today, you too should all walk away proud. I can tell you on behalf of your university that we are very, very proud of you, because you have been through a crucible unlike any other in this university's history. This pandemic upended all your lives and your studies. You completed 2 whole years of remote learning. You had to be self-sufficient in a way that no other cohort ever did. You persevered, you succeeded, and here you are, all caps and gowns and smiles. Cherish this moment. Be in this moment. Feel the pride in your chest because you have earned it. It's my job here today to send you on your way. So here are the 3 values that you will take from here as you go, and that will stay with you no matter where you find yourself. The first is humility. Your light will shine bright wherever you go, so you won't need to boast about it. Because humility is the sign of someone who truly believes in themselves. And humility also means believing in others and demonstrating respect for others. This university has taught you that everyone matters. We have taught you how to live the values of diversity and inclusion, and it will serve you well. The second is collaboration. This university has taught you how to work in teams, and it has taught you how to reach beyond your own area of expertise to collaborate with other disciplines. To echo the words of President Lachemy, no other university would think to invite engineers and creative thinkers into a hospital operating room. But that's what we do here, because collaboration is the spirit of invention and innovation. This is also part of who you are. You're inventors, thinkers, innovators. And the third is courage. You battled through the pandemic. You battled through all the uncertainty of these recent years. You have had to learn to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. We don't always think of this kind of behavior as courage, but that's what it is. Because let me tell you, for all the uncertainty that you have faced to date, more uncertainty lies ahead. The world is always changing, and change comes faster now than it used to. This frightens a lot of people, but it should never frighten you. Your studies have taught you how to forge ahead no matter the circumstances. You are supremely capable. Never forget that. I would now like to ask every graduating student here in the hall to please stand up. Stand up. Don't be afraid. There's hundreds of you. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard me tell their tale. These graduates have worked so hard to get here, to reach this moment of achievement. The path they had to take was truly unprecedented. You heard me say how proud their university is of them, and I know you all feel the same way. Let's show it to them now with a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you. I would now like to ask everyone who is here to support a graduate to please stand up. If you are a mother or father, a brother or sister, a grandparent, a spouse, a child, including my parents, my wife, and my daughters, Sophie and Roya, please stand up. All of you, extended family members, friends, and neighbors, if you are here to bear witness to someone's convocation, please stand. Okay, now graduates, these are the people who have supported you through thick and thin. Through it all, they have always been invested in your success. This moment is yours, but it's a moment for sharing. Let's make them part of this moment. They lifted you up when you needed it, and now that you're ready to convocate, it's your turn to lift them up. Lift them up high right now with a big round of applause. Thank you. That was great. The saying is you get an extra minute of a convocation speech for every 10 years at Ryerson. Let me close with one last thought. You arrived here as students from around the world. You will leave here as graduates, and you will fan back out all around the world. You will embark on spectacular careers. You will make new friends. You will raise families. You will meet with adventure, success, and heartbreak. And your time here on campus may fade into memory. But years from now, somewhere halfway around the world, when you meet another graduate of Toronto Metropolitan University, even someone who graduated 10 years before you or 10 years after you, you will feel like you know them. And you won't be wrong, because you will see in them the same values that you hold: humility, collaboration, and courage. I congratulate you. I'm so proud of you, and I wish you success in life and work. Thank you.
I think you can sit down now. Wow, inspirational. And you know, it's before, when Hossein was talking about his speech, I was always cautioning him about saying, okay, Hossein, you can't go too long because it'll be hard. But I have to tell you, that time flew by, and thank you so much for those amazing words, Hossein. So do we have our fill of inspiration now? Are we good? Can we go on, shall we get on with the next phase? Are we ready to rock and roll kind of thing? Okay. So let's do it. So a couple of things, a couple of housekeeping things I shouldn't say I'm supposed to. I would like to share with you. I've been asked to request that you hold your applause until all graduates have crossed the stage. Right. You do that, okay? We are the creative school. I think the people who have that rule don't understand the difference of but you know, do your best to keep things moving, okay? What can I say? You know what? I think spontaneous outbursts of joy and enthusiasm are a good thing, and including relief from family and friends. That's all part of the celebration, so just be yourselves. That's our way, right? I do have one more serious note, though. If this is about community, and whether your last name starts with A or Z, wherever you are in the process, you know, if you had any thoughts of leaving halfway or as you're getting, just forget about it, okay? Don't leave. It's not right. It's not nice. We're a group. We're together. Let's just go through the journey together right till the end. Okay, so now I ask to come forward and I want to thank in advance the University Registrar, Robin Park.
Thank you. I'm going to ask our graduates for the last time to please rise if you're able. Thank you. Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashmi, Provost Simpson, honored guests, faculty members, staff, families, and friends of the graduands. I have the honor and pleasure to present graduands from Toronto Metropolitan University's Creative School and the Yates School of Graduate Studies degree programs. Our graduands include all those who are joining us for today's ceremony, as well as those unable to attend who are graduating in absentia. I certify that each has met the academic requirements for the awards that they are about to receive, and that each has been duly approved by the University Senate. My congratulations to each of you. You can be seated.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the undergraduate degrees in the Creative School. Bachelor of Fine Arts, Image Arts, Film Studies. Nada Abbas, with distinction. Marley Abdul. Marley Abdul is being congratulated on stage by her mother, Joannie Cole Abdul, from the Creative School. Sean Abramayan. Paul Aguera, with distinction. Ethan Beard, with distinction. Caitlin Boyle, with distinction. Aidan Bright McNally, with distinction. Claire Brown, with distinction. Joseph Capone, with distinction. Bryn Cowan, with distinction. Christopher Cruz. Jessica Curry. Lorenza De Benedictis, with distinction. Liam DeBoer. Anali Dimfel, with distinction. Alexandra Dunlop, with distinction. Michael Gervais, with distinction. Victoria Glogowski, with distinction. Angie Guo. Daniel Hackborn, with distinction. Tobias Harrison, with distinction. Nora Hayden, with distinction. Kamal Ismail, with distinction. Akash Jones. Natasha Kraus. Amanda Lalonde. Maxine Lemieux, with distinction. Lena Dihui Lee, with distinction. Guinevere McLeod, with distinction. Maya Mai. Alice March, with distinction. Michael McGassey, with distinction. Rachel McCarroll. Amrita Muruganand, with distinction. Naja Pereira. Brooke Robertson Pittman. Veronica Ruby, with distinction. Michael Rukavina, with distinction. Soraya Sachedina. Cecily Samuel. Andrew Scott, with distinction. Connor Shipley, with distinction. Sean Schultes, with distinction. Lori C., with distinction. Seydina Salifo Suma. Benjamin Vaux. Isabel Winner. Christian Wood. Bachelor of Fine Arts, Image Arts, Photography Studies. Dana Bikram. Zongji Kai, with distinction. Juliana Kazi, with distinction. Yang Chi. Cassidy Clemmer. William Delaney. John Monique Delante, with distinction. Jocelyn De Leon, with distinction. Morgan Gerard, with distinction. Maria Sofia Guevara. Glennis Lesky. Alejandra Luzuriaga. Owen Mertens. Joshua Moschenberg. Ella Murphy. Darcy Niemzak with distinction. Jordana Petruccelli. Tanawat P. Sautong. Carly Ramsey. Sophia Sartor. Kendall Stevenson. Caden Wigston with distinction. Bachelor of Interior Design, Interior Design. Ala Abd El Ati with distinction. Butaina Ahmed with distinction. Latifa Arawona. Dina Badawi with distinction. Rachel Brown. Alicia Bruce. Tuk Bui with distinction. Kamal Chandla with distinction. Yun Lee Chen. Joey Chu with distinction. Michaela Andrea Cuenco. Pauline Dolar with distinction. Alyssa Dworak. Natalie Elmarge. Ashley Eltair with distinction. Malak Fati. Uzma Fazal with distinction. Daniela Figueroa Batista with distinction. Isabella Galia with distinction. Nicole Garzan Usina. Kaylee Hansford. Sharon Ho. Elaine Hong with distinction. Carla Kristovska. Alice Wenyi Huang with distinction. Jacqueline Hung with distinction. Julia James with distinction. Min So Ji with distinction. Kaidi Jin with distinction. Madeline Young Grennan with distinction. Paul Lee with distinction. Victoria Lindo. Fedora Liu with distinction. Tam Jackie Lee. Sarah Maltby. Sophie Mayer. Tara McCleary. Aisha Medina. Ugo Chinyere Megwa, with distinction. Kimberly Mushiri, with distinction. Daniela Maraca. Liao Ing, with distinction. Nasilia Odamane, with distinction. Madison Politsky. Vaishnavi Prasad, with distinction. Neha Raman, with distinction. Catherine Regis, with distinction. Bianca Rowe. Kara Rottermund, with distinction. Michelle Roskowska, with distinction. Megan Shavers, with distinction. Yi Han Sun, with distinction. Jessica Tam. Zhen Yu Tian. Jenna Villacorta, with distinction. Reem Wehebi. Jeffrey Wong. Pansy Wong, with distinction. Jinyi Bella Zhu. Alexandra Yakubova. Mei Mei Young, with distinction. Margarita Yushina, with distinction. Bachelor of Journalism, Journalism. Layla Amer. Anastasia Anoche, with distinction. Jayadeep Aurora, with distinction. Ruby Ascadome, with distinction. Yasmin Aslam, with distinction. Hadi Azad Dula. Nicholas Baldwin. Sydney Brazil, with distinction. Alyssa Bravo. Carolyn Bridgman, with distinction. Nadia Brophy, with distinction. David Castles, with distinction. Sophie Chong. Severina Chu, with distinction. Alexandra Cleland, with distinction. Kyle Craig. Caitlin Curtis, with distinction. Anne-Marie Catrozzola, with distinction. Laura Dalton, with distinction. Zainab Zulfikarali Damji, with distinction. Dana Dashchuk. Akanksha Dingra. William Dixon, with distinction. Bria Dwin. Cassandra Earl with distinction. Xavier Iswaran. Mercedes Gastambide Spillane with distinction. Demar Grant. Driti Gupta with distinction. Alexander Hanemian. Allison Hannaford with distinction. Devin Harvey with distinction. Tala Hashmani with distinction. Donald Higney with distinction. Kashi Hura. Erica Hemingway. Sydney Ingram. Michael Jagasar Cardenas. Diditi Kandel. Mariam Kassam with distinction. Madison Kelly with distinction. Masi Kalatbare Darakshan with distinction. Abir Khan with distinction. Lakshya Khan. Negin Kodayari. Nora Kim with distinction. Emma Kunzelman. Daphne Lacroix with distinction. Kristen Landry with distinction. Tatiana Latrell with distinction. Heidi Lee. Serena Lopez. Tumba Lukusa. Sarah Marcetti with distinction. Shauna Mazinis with distinction. Abigail McCulloch. Gavin Mercier. Victoria Marianos. Efwa Mfojo. Georgia Mills. Catherine Newman with distinction. Alethea Ung with distinction. Stacy Nguyen with distinction. Shayna Nicolay with distinction. Mariam Noser with distinction. Gabriela Oteza. Gary Joseph Panganiban with distinction. Trevor Popoff with distinction. Dorsa Rabar Degan with distinction. Santiago Raymer. Alicia Reed. Dua Rizvi. Serafina Romano with distinction. Kiara Rudder with distinction. Meghna Sarawat with distinction. Elizabeth Sargent with distinction. Alexander Schummer. Federico Sierra. Emily Singh. Ria Singh. Tasneem Skafi. Alexander Soa with distinction. Tess Stuber with distinction. Kirsten Svidich with distinction. Edward Tatomir with distinction. Christina Tomasone Quezerma. Sofia Vavarutsos with distinction. Monique Vigno. David Warner with distinction. Nama Weingarten with distinction. Sumiko Wilson. Jack Wise with distinction. Vanessa Wright with distinction. Bachelor of Fine Arts, Performance Acting. Layla Ainsley. Kieran Bailey. Autumn Davis with distinction. Bang Yu Hao with distinction. Atlin Hofer with distinction. Ethan Keys. Anna Kopacek with distinction. Desmond Lazar with distinction. Tariq Lewis. Alexa Mastro Giacomo. Hannah Mulak with distinction. Olivia Neary Hatton with distinction. Kendall Parks with distinction. Christian Shepis with distinction. Holly Scott Black. Jennifer Tan with distinction. Dylan Worth. Ben Johannathan. Ethan Zucan with distinction. Bachelor of Fine Arts, Performance Dance. Bailey Allams with distinction. Carly Benson with distinction. Morgan Carroll with distinction. Allison Carey with distinction. Celeste Chiapetta. Jewel Cormier with distinction. Alices Davis. Madison Eby with distinction. Madeline Hiscox. Abigail Hopper with distinction. Zoe Kwan with distinction. Catherine Ledvinka with distinction. Annika McCabe with distinction. Perry McCall. Megan McMartin with distinction. Noelle Natalie. Vanessa Piselli. Crystal Tam with distinction. Kaylin Teranishi with distinction. Liam Woodvine with distinction. Bachelor of Fine Arts, Performance Production. Alexander Alfonso. Megan Amahan with distinction. Victoria Barrett. Finian Brown with distinction. Nigel Campbell. Eros Corpus. Everett Dallingwater. Betty Fan with distinction. Simon Gonzalez. Olivia Halewa. Robert Harrington with distinction. Saba Jawai. Suji Kim with distinction. Zoe Lazaroff. James Lozinski with distinction. Anthony Mancini with distinction. Diana Martinez Barrera with distinction. Olivia Martins with distinction. Yoann Mastargarkov with distinction. Veronica Nalepka. Emma Norman with distinction. Elle Patey with distinction. Jeanette Reyes with distinction. Olivia Seward. Ryan Shimizu. William Trojman. Adrian Wan with distinction. Younggook Wong. Chloe Wong with distinction. Nathaniel Wong with distinction. Bachelor of Arts, Honors, Professional Communication. Aisha Anwar with distinction. Jacob Arseno with distinction. Marsal Asadullah with distinction. Andrea Auer. Rama Barham with distinction. Kathleen Barr with distinction. Nicole Bembenek with distinction. Sonia Braganza with distinction. Emmett Jamal Brown with distinction. Amanda Butler. Kathleen Carson with distinction. Sydney Clark. Michelle Cerniak, with distinction. Samantha Ciro. Quang Dao, with distinction. Julia Dera, with distinction. Rachel Dixon. Jake Dietrich, with distinction. Anna Freeman, with distinction. Hayden Godfrey, with distinction. Catherine Gowrie. Tasia Graham. Mariana Hanna, with distinction. Diana Hassan. Danielle Hatsianis. Amy Huska, with distinction. Elaine Iwansky, with distinction. Jessica Jokum, with distinction. Eshar Kalsia. Abish Kuwaja, with distinction. Daniel Clapman. Daniel Corzon, with distinction. Sophia Korakos, with distinction. Hunter Lack. Andy Yejun Lee, with distinction. Matthew Lohman, with distinction. Layla Madkour, with distinction. Alina Madorsky, with distinction. Shoshana Maman, with distinction. Renee Marquis. Julia Marr, with distinction. Tiffany Mayhew, with distinction. Alexandra Monju, with distinction. Adam Morasuti, with distinction. Evelyn Morissette, with distinction. Abdullah Naeem, with distinction. Margot Perrin, with distinction. Brett Porter, with distinction. Carly Rice, with distinction. Rachel Reed, with distinction. Sydney Shapiro. Michelle Sharifi. Amy Jiwan Suk. Brian Valentini, with distinction. Dennis Van Stifo. Lucas Vukovic, with distinction. Vivian Whalen, with distinction. Shaziah Williams. Master of Digital Media, Peter Callow. Tabitha Grant. Master of Fine Arts, Documentary Media, Rachel Bordignon. Master of Arts, Film and Photography Preservation and Collections Management, Cassandra Spires. Master of Journalism, Journalism. Rahaf Al-Farawi. Jenna Benchotrit. Elena De Luigi. Simonita Gavros. Daniel Johnson. Rida Adnan Khan. Stephanie Leonardelli. Rachel Masai. Kimon Moodley. Gina Mortfield. Julia Palarcio. Swida Rassi. Ambika Sharma. Master of Arts, Media Production. Maria Armstrong. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of today's graduates.
Hello, Toronto Met grads. I'm Jen McMillan, Vice Provost students, and I'm so excited to share this moment with you. After years of hard work and great memories, you finally made it to the finish line. Congratulations on this huge accomplishment. I know you have a lot of family and friends in your corners too, people who supported you when you needed it most, and who cheered you on at every milestone. Whether they are near or far, they are celebrating you today, and no doubt incredibly proud of your achievements. I hope you feel that your degree not only represents what you learned in the classroom, but how you made the most of your time here. You worked hard, tackling assignments, studying for exams, and balancing jobs, but also played hard, joining clubs, making athletics history, and becoming student leaders. While some of you might have grown up close by, many of you spent hours on a plane to get here, and that's the beauty of this place. We're a community made up of people from all around the world who found a second home at TMU. So take all of your experiences, your successes and learnings, and dive into every opportunity that lies ahead. Grow the network of friends you've built here and help one another thrive in new spaces around the world. I hope you keep getting involved, keep speaking up, and keep living out loud because this world needs you, just as you are. Do you hear me? It needs you, and I'm so happy we could help you on your way. Congratulations again.
When I moved here to go to university, I was, this kid in this big, intimidating city, and this place just felt like home to me.
And I knew immediately, having just come from Jamaica, that that was the place for me.
I spent 3 years here. These are still the best 3 years of my life.
One of the fondest memories that I had was being here at 1, 2 in the morning. You're leaving at around 3 a.m., but it didn't matter because you were doing what you loved.
My fondest memory at the university was the day I graduated. Dr. G. Raymond Chang, our previous chancellor, was handing it off to me. I remember when I got up to that stage, I whispered over to him, "I'm Jamaican as well. I'm so proud to have you as my chancellor," and we giggled.
Interaction with meeting students from all over the world, interaction with my instructors of the day.
My fondest memory was getting a husband.
The warmth, the camaraderie. The buildings were so friendly.
During my 8 years as president of the university, I officiated at well over 50 convocations. My fondest memory really was to see the students coming across the stage, to see their families excited with them, and to see so many of the students who are graduating be the first in their family to get a degree.
And it's all true. Yes, thank you. It's not fluff.
So you did it. How does it feel? You're alumni now. Absolutely, and it's amazing. Proud of you. So we're almost at the last phase of this celebration. I would like you to really applaud very loudly for the next speaker, not only because she's amazing, but also she's my boss. So I think I really want to make sure she gets a welcoming. Please welcome Provost and Vice President and Academic Jennifer Simpson.
Thanks, Charles. It's great to be here with all of you. Again, I'm Jennifer Simpson, Provost and Vice President and Academic. I arrived here in July 2021, and so like many of you, this is my first year of an in-person convocation, and I'm so glad to be here to celebrate with all of you. You have arrived at this day, at this celebration, at this accomplishment. Once again, congratulations. As we bring today's celebration to a close, we have a minute to reflect on the sacrifices and successes that have led to this moment. You've overcome many challenges, endless study sessions and all-nighters dedicated to finishing that project or getting through tough exams. You've balanced extracurricular activities with a demanding academic schedule. And all of this on top of a global pandemic that pushed and challenged each of you in unimaginable ways. Consider the incredible things that you've gained along the way, cherished memories at varsity games and campus events to reminisce about with lifelong friends, and hopefully an appetite for learning that will fuel your growth in the years ahead. Every day, you showed up, you persevered, you asked tough questions, you challenged the status quo, and you triumphed. This is a day of well-deserved celebration for you, your families, and your friends. In many ways, you are now standing at the beginning of your own next chapter. We expect that you'll likely have moments of excitement, frustration, and sometimes self-doubt. I certainly did as a graduate. And in one of those moments of self-doubt, I was grappling with what to do next. I decided to reach out to a professor, and this story is important because of what it points to that we want you to remember. First of all, the professor, who I hadn't had contact with in a year, was so glad to hear from me. And he gave me the best advice he could have in very few words. He said, whenever possible, I hope you follow your heart. That's what we want you to remember today as well. To reach out, we will be excited to hear from you. To follow your heart, and has been said so many times today, to remember the immense amounts of support you have both with each other and with your families and friends who are here today. Trust yourself and your own passions. Trust your heart. We hope you continue to ask questions, to keep learning, and to stay open. I'll also take a moment to say a special thank you to the family members and friends who helped you along the way. Your support has been incredibly important to each one of our graduates, and you have contributed to their success in incalculable ways. Thank you, family and friends, for all of your support. To our graduates, good luck and congratulations. We want you to remember one really important point. that by completing your journey here, you will always be part of the Toronto Metropolitan University family, an ever-growing group of passionate people doing remarkable work in every corner of the world. Good luck with all of your endeavors. We look forward to what each of you will contribute to our shared future. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Simpson. I just want to take a second for all of us to thank the staff and the volunteers and faculty here today who helped make this ceremony a wonderful experience for all. So why don't you thank them for all that? Okay, that's it. That's all for now. Congratulations again from all of us. Make sure you spend the rest of the day and maybe the whole weekend hugging yourself with pride. This is just a really, really special moment, and I am very proud of you myself. But first, if you can, please rise and join Catherine Rowan from the Office of the Dean of the Faculty of Arts in singing of our national anthem. Following the anthem, please remain standing until all graduates have left the arena. Thank you, and have an amazing day, and congratulations.